Hello guys, we're gonna be looking at stuff you should never do. By the way, I think this is a joke. Okay? But okay, let's see.
This is why you should.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry that it took me a while to film a video. Cause I had to go vote with my grandpa. And I was literally so shy because you know what the lady said? Guess what the lady said? You should take a picture with your granddaughter and person that is I don't know whatever person they're talking about, whatever. I don't remember. And then I'm like, no! I shouted out no. Like, no, I'm not going to. I don't want to. So, let's just get on with the video.
Not listen to your teacher. Once something terrifying happened to Sophia when she got to school. She went to class as usual when her teacher burst into the room and said, "Sophia, I have some bad news." She was shocked and embarrassed to be called out like that in front of her whole class. Her teacher then said, "Get your things. I just got off the phone with your father. He said your mom was in a horrible accident and he's gonna pick you up now and take you to the hospital." Sophia instantly froze in horror. She tried to explain, but her teacher kept interrupting her. "Why are you just standing around? Get your things now." But Sophia wouldn't move. She knew something wasn't right. She said, "I don't have a father. He passed away long ago and I never got to meet him. I was raised by a single mother all my life." To this day, Sophia still doesn't know who that man was claiming to be her father and what he planned to do if she had gone with him.
Well, that's creepy. And why is the man wearing a Squid Game suit, huh? Is this secret Squid Game or something? This family gotta be a secret cult or something. Okay. Let's read the comments. Soon these stories or something will go to, this is why you should never breathe air. I need to breathe air. How are you gonna survive if you can't breathe, huh? Tell me that. If I can't breathe to my nose or mouth, how do you think I'm gonna survive? You know that I can't do that. I can't survive without breathing. I mean, sure, maybe you could, but okay. Let's read the other comment. This is why you should never eat soap. This is why you should eat soap. What the heck? I don't want to eat soup. Did that say soup or soap? I'm so confused. I think it said soap.
This is why you should be careful who you believe. Once there was a girl named Danny who lived with her parents, but one day she came home and found something terrifying. She went to the kitchen to get some water, but dropped.
Hold on. Just change the name to Isabella or Elena, and then it will be my story, see? Just change the video's name to Isabella, and then, haha, me.
Glass and screamed in terror. On the floor, she saw the body of her mother. Then her father burst into the room. He said, "Danny, listen carefully. Your mom was trying to run away and abandon us. We got in a fight. She fell. It was an accident. I'm so sorry." Danny was in shock. This is why you should never go for someone's looks. Once there was a man who married a woman with long black hair and brown eyes. He thought she was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. But soon things went terribly wrong.
Then is a boy gonna want me when I grow up? When I have brown hair and dark brown eyes, huh? Is the boy gonna like me, or is he just gonna dump me like, no, you look like trash?
The years her appearance changed, but he couldn't handle it. He didn't like that she gained weight or that her face now had wrinkles on it. For that reason, he quickly divorced her and found a different girl. This would be a horrifying mistake. The new girl was much younger and had long blonde hair. Within weeks, he married her. But as soon as they moved in, he noticed that she completely changed. She wasn't sweet and polite anymore. She became rude and used him for money. One night, he couldn't take it anymore. He got in his car, left the city, and drove back to his ex-wife's house. And what he saw there shocked him. The house was abandoned. He knocked on the door, but no one answered, so he went in. And there, sitting in their old bedroom, was his ex-wife with her long black hair covering her face. He hugged her and cried, explaining how he regretted leaving her. And that's when she said, "I'm glad you're back, if only for a moment." The man said, "What do you mean? I'm back for good. We can spend our lives together." Then he brushed her hair out of her face and screamed. All that's left was a skull. That's when the man looked down and realized he'd been holding nothing but a pile of bones in his hand. This is why...
Then who was the person talking, huh? That's creepy. Well, looks like I'm gonna not sleep tonight.
Once there was a boy named Xavier who lived in a small town. He'd always had a crush on this girl but never said anything until one day he decided to sit next to her in class. But he'd never expect the terrifying things this would lead to. To his surprise, Xavier and this girl began hanging out more and more. Eventually, they began dating. But she had a secret, something no one would expect. Soon, Xavier found a new job and needed to move. He wanted her to move with him, but she said she couldn't because of her sick grandfather who couldn't take care of himself anymore. So on the day Xavier was supposed to move, he came to her house to say goodbye. And that's when things started going wrong. She said, "Let's just go. My grandpa doesn't need me anymore." But Xavier could see from the open door the body of an old man on the floor. Terrified, Xavier drove off and never looked back. Until years later, he finally found out the truth. A few years later, Xavier came back to his hometown. But when he asked about the girl, no one seemed to remember her. That's when one of his friends mentioned, 60 years ago, a young girl from this town killed her grandfather. As Xavier left, he drove past where the girl's house used to be and saw no evidence that a house was ever there at all.
Then was that lady a ghost? Or, was that someone's soul? I had no idea.
This is why you should never go into the woods at...
We already know not to go in woods at 3 a.m., okay? We already know that. You might get arrested if you do that, because the police are going to be looking around, because the police look around at night. So yeah, you are going to get arrested if you go into the woods. That is probably illegal. I don't know.
3 a.m. In 2017, a man was staying alone at a cabin in the woods. He was unpacking boxes.
Well then, why are you doing that, huh? Why? There's gonna be like someone in your house getting ready to kill you. Come on, yo.
When all of a sudden he heard children laughing. He didn't really think anything of it, so he just left them alone. Later that night, he heard the laughing again, but this time he went outside and yelled, "Who's there?" He didn't get a response, so he just went back inside, but not even 5 minutes later, the laughing continued. He stormed out of the cabin and began shining his light into the woods, trying to find the kids. He was slowly shining his light all through the forest when all of a sudden
You
his
must
heart
hate them kids or something, man. You must hate them kids. Yeah, you must hate them. You must hate those kids. Oh, yeah. My Lord. You must really hate them.
dropped. There was a man standing behind a tree smiling at him.
Oh, look, it's a little clown. You're so cute. You better not come and fight me at 3 a.m. You better not be at the side of my couch, because that's where I'm sleeping tonight. Because I'm scared to sleep in my room tonight. So if you dare try and hurt me, I'm going to kick your butt. And I'm going to beat you up and call the police. You do not want to mess with me. For the last time.
What happens next is shocking. Like for part 2. This is why you...
Let's create a spooky man for my next story. Clown face paint.
One night, a young couple got invited to a party, so they called their neighbor to babysit their newborn son. But they could have never expected the horrifying things this would lead to. Their neighbor was an old woman, and the couple needed her to put their baby to bed and put a chicken in the oven so it would be cooked for tomorrow's dinner. The old woman agreed, and the couple left for the night. But soon, the mother felt like she needed to call and check in. The old woman answered the phone, and the mother asked if she put the baby to bed yet. "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot all about it. I'll do it now," the old woman said. "And have you put the chicken in the oven?" the mother asked. "I'm sorry, I forgot about that too. I'll do."
Are you gonna cook the baby? You better not. I guarantee that's what the lady is gonna do. She's gonna be like, "I'm gonna ban this baby. They're gonna eat babies. They're gonna eat this baby." Like, ew. Can you not? You better be joking, yo.
"Now," said the old woman. The mother just rolled her eyes and hung up. She thought she couldn't complain because her neighbor was helping her out anyways. It wasn't until the couple got home that they realized what a horrifying mistake they made. They thanked the old woman for helping out, and the mother went upstairs to check on her baby. When she walked into her son's bedroom, she was shocked to see an uncooked chicken in the crib. But what happened next was...
Is that the baby? Oh my gosh, is that the baby? Did she cook the baby and then put it back in the crib? OMG. Oh my lord. This is so, whoa.
even more terrifying. Downstairs, she heard her husband say, "You won't believe this, honey. That forgetful neighbor burned our chicken dinner."
Then there was chicken dinner. Is there chicken dinner, the baby? Question mark.
Can you solve this mystery? This is the story of two friends who got into an accident while they were camping. But someone is hiding something, and not everything is as simple as it might seem. All the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. So these two friends, a young man and woman, went camping together in the woods. The man said that he knew his way around because he went camping there all the time. So he ended up leading the way. They arrived at a long rope bridge that they both had to cross to get to the other side. The woman went first, but something was wrong. One of the boards on the rope bridge came loose. She accidentally stepped through, but managed to grab the rope just in time to save herself from falling. She shouted to her friend for help, but he said that he was too scared to get on the bridge now. She finally pulled herself up to safety, where her friend said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, I'm fine, but that could have ended up a lot worse." And her friend replied, "You're right. Someone should really fix the ropes on the bridge." What really happened here, and who's the...
Okay, I don't know. I feel like the lady did this on purpose to get attention, but I more feel like the man tried to kill his best friend. Sorry, I get boys and girls mixed up. Sometimes they look like a boy girl. Don't ask me why.
Can you solve this mystery? This is the story of a girl who woke up one day to the police knocking at her door. But someone here is hiding something. And all the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. So this...
Okay, hold on. Let me just turn all my lights off to get it creepy. Okay, I turned my bedroom light off.
girl's been living with an older...
It's gonna be so creepy. I'm gonna be so scared. At least my living room light on.
man for 3 months. Until one day, out of nowhere, the police showed up to their door and took her away. They brought her to a restaurant and asked her to order anything that she wanted. She got a burger and fries. Then she asked for something cold to drink. They gave her iced tea. Then one of the officers said he's going away for a while. The old man was charged with 14 offenses. When the police were done chatting, they drove the girl home. And everyone was crying when she got there. What really happened here? Can you solve this mystery?
Well, I don't know, because I don't understand.
If you own a pair of black leggings, don't do what she did. Once there was a girl named Gracie who loved to dance. So 1 year on her birthday...
Oh my gosh, Grace is like my nickname. Because, I got the Grace. People always say I got the Grace online. Because, I comment, and then I comment something nice, and people are like, okay, can you please stop being so sweet? Please, you're so dang sweet. Aw, thank you. Have a nice day. And remember, you are beautiful just the way you are. And they're like, oh my gosh, why are you so sweet? You got the grace. I'm like, okay. And some of my friends on Roblox even call me Gracie. Or Gracia. or Grace.
Pair of black leggings to wear to dance practice, but they could have never expected the terrifying things this would lead to. Gracie put on these leggings and her mom drove her to practice, but at the end of the day, something strange happened. As soon as her mom picked her up, Gracie began complaining that her legs were hurting. Her mom ignored her, assuming it would go away, but things only got worse. When they got home, Gracie had stopped complaining. In fact, at this point, she couldn't feel anything at all. Still, she went upstairs and got changed, but then her mom heard a scream. She ran into her daughter's room and saw she had finally taken off the black leggings, and underneath all that's left were just bones.
Well, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
Can you solve this mystery? This is the story about the murder of a group of kids that went to the same school, but things are not as simple as they seem. Someone is hiding something, and all the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. After the tragic murders of these boys, they had to each be buried in closed caskets because their bodies were so badly beaten. But someone noticed something strange at the funeral. He was a friend of one of the boys' parents, and he saw an elderly woman sitting alone, someone that he didn't recognize. When the funeral was over, she quietly went over to each headstone with a smile and placed a clover next to each one. Then she said a silent prayer. He thought she must be one of the dead boys' grandmas. He asked her, "Why did you place a clover on their graves?" She replied, "It's a happy flower. It brings good luck. You see, my grandson died too, but it was a different incident. He was bullied for a
Does your son like flowers? You must be joking, right? Because, I like flowers. So how?
long time, and one day he couldn't take it anymore. He hung himself in the school bathroom. The elderly woman began crying and left. He felt bad for her, but something felt off. That night, he decided to Google what clovers mean. It said that they were the symbol for revenge. What really happened here? Can you solve?
Revenge? Okay, I'm getting a little creeped out with my lights. Hold on. Is there something in my room right now? Hang on. Oh my God! Okay, that's just one of my stuffed animals. Never mind. Okay. I'm gonna try not to have a heart attack. Stay safe. My mom's phone. Please don't get attacked. Okay, I turned my light back on. Okay, I think I'm okay now.
Can you solve this mystery? This is the story. Her husband thought that she must have felt upset due to how surprised he looked when he saw her birthmark. Or maybe she had second thoughts. After months of getting no reply, he finally gave up on trying to look for her. He was heartbroken, but after a few years, he got a new job in a different city. He wanted a fresh start in life, but things didn't go as planned. He came across a strange-looking circus called the House of Oddities. This made him very curious, so he went in. But what he saw inside would shock him. Among the other circus acts, he saw a twisted woman rocking back and forth, looking terrified. He screamed as he recognized the birthmark on her face. He even thought that this man's wife left him, but not for the reasons he thought. Once there was a couple who just got married in Paris. They were very happy together, but the wife had one secret she didn't tell her husband yet. She had a birthmark on her face. She'd been wearing makeup to cover it, but she thought once she showed her husband, she would know whether he truly loved her. So after they got married, she took off her makeup and showed him. He was surprised, but he wasn't going to let that change anything. However, the next morning, his wife was gone. Her husband thought that she must have felt upset due to how surprised he looked when he saw her birthmark. Or this man's wife left him, but not stop. She stood outside her home and couldn't shake the feeling anymore. She had to go back to the office to find out exactly what she forgot. It was very late at night at this point, but she made it back. She ran up the stairs and opened the office door, but what she saw could only be described as unimaginable. As this woman slowly knelt down on the floor, she finally realized what she left behind. It was her body lying on the floor, strangled to death. Stop. She stood outside her home. Have you ever felt like you've forgotten something but can't remember exactly what you forgot? Well, for this one woman, this feeling would lead to a terrifying discovery.
I have no clue, but okay, I forgot that I fell in a back alley before I went to go vote. Now my candy wrappers are all on the floor, thanks to my thing. Yeah,
was on the bus on her way home from work one night when she was certain she left something behind in the office. She thought to herself, maybe it's nothing. She had a long day and she just wanted to go home for the night. But of course, she could have never expected the horrifying truth. This feeling of not being able to remember what she forgot became more and more intense. She thought about This is why you should never let someone borrow your phone charger.
Okay, I'm gonna show my grandpa and see what he thinks, okay? I'm gonna show him. Okay, Grandpa. I want you to watch something with me. And this is on video, too.
Okay,
So,
get me a can of dew.
show it. Open that before anything. Okay. This is why you should never borrow someone else's phone charger. So, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, let's start the video.
Once there was a young woman named Betty who was home alone when she heard a knock at her door. She opened it and saw a young man standing there. He said his car broke down and his phone battery ran out, so he needed to borrow a charger. Wanting to help, Betty let him in and made him tea while his phone charged.
Do you need me to play it?
This would be a devastating This is why you should never let someone borrow your phone charger. Once there was a young woman named Betty who was home alone when she heard a knock at her door. She opened it and saw a young man standing there. He said his car broke down and his phone battery ran out, so he needed to borrow a charger. Wanting to help, Betty let him in and made him tea while his phone charged. This would be a devastating mistake because soon things started getting suspicious. They were chatting on the couch when the man brought up that he recently got into filmmaking and it was his dream to make his own movie. No special effects, no camera tricks, he wanted to make everything seem real. But he didn't want to make any kind of movie. He wanted to make his own horror movie. Betty started feeling uncomfortable, so she hinted that she wanted to go to bed soon. Then, as she stood up from the couch, she noticed something she didn't see before. And this changed everything. Underneath the man's jacket was a glowing red light, the red light of a camera that was recording. This is why you...
Okay, was that creepy? Okay, say bye to everybody.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, so we're back in my room. We're gonna plug my mom's phone back in. Now we're gonna watch a different video.
If you wake up in the middle of the night, don't do what they did. Once there was a girl named Bailey who went to a sleepover at a friend's house.
I wake up all the time in the middle of the night, and what happens? Nothing. Except for sometimes maybe I see my Roblox avatar right by my bed, but my eyes are just like joking with me. Like seriously, it's so creepy when I wake up to my fan and I see my Roblox avatar's face on my fan. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, oh my gosh, please don't hurt me. Like, why is my Roblox avatar's face on my fan in my room?
But when her parents went to pick her up the next day, something terrifying happened. So Bailey got home pretty late, ate dinner, and went to bed. But in the middle of the night, Bailey woke her parents up. Her dad asked,
Nice name, Bailey.
"What are you up for? It's so late," struggling to put his glasses on. Then Bailey tugged at his shirt sleeve and said, "Guess how old I'm going to be next month?" "I don't know," her dad said, thinking this was some kind of joke. "How old?" Bailey smiled and held up 4 fingers. It's about 7 in the morning now, and Bailey's parents have been awake for almost 8 hours. Still, Bailey refuses to tell her parents where she got them from. Follow for more stories. If you wake up in the middle of This is why you should never go to sleep early. Once there was a girl named Rebecca who shared a bedroom with her sister. But one night something
Well, I don't have a sibling, and I'm so happy.
terrifying happened. Something no one can explain. Her sister would always go to sleep early because of work, but one night Rebecca felt exhausted from school, so she decided to sleep early too. She could have never expected the horrifying things this would lead to. When she opened her bedroom door, the lights were already off and her sister was in bed. She asked, "Are you asleep already? I still have to shower." Her sister replied, "Lie down. It's too late, shower in the morning." Rebecca said, "No, but her sister interrupted her. "I said lie down." This time her voice was much angrier. Annoyed, Rebecca went into the bathroom anyways, but found someone was already in there. Then her mom came out of the living room. Dad's taking a long time in there, huh? Rebecca said, pointing to the bathroom door. But her mom looked confused. No, he's in the living room with me watching TV. Rebecca stopped. That's when the bathroom door opened and her sister stepped out. To this day, Rebecca still wonders who was in her bedroom and what.
I think it was your sister's soul. Usually Jesus would warn you, right?
Would have happened if she had lied down like it told. This is why you should not listen to your teacher. Can you solve this mystery? This is the story of an old man who heard about how a scientist discovered a way to stay young forever. But things went.
Whoa. I know I don't want to grow up, but you gotta grow up somehow. And usually when you grow up to 17 or something, you get a better room. I guess I would say I want a better room, but you can't always be denied. Sometimes people could be kind of broke on money. So yeah. But when me and my parents find a different house to live in, I will be sure to get the master bedroom because I want the master bedroom. So, oh, my charger fell. Okay. Oh, my. Okay. Try and turn it on. I don't want to fall here. I don't want to fall. Okay, I got it. Whew. Jeez. I really need to clean my room up.
Terribly wrong. The scientist is hiding something, and all the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. So this old man went to the scientist and asked him to make him young again. The scientist agreed and said that he invented a machine that would use the old man's cells to create a young, healthy body. Then the old man's memories would be transplanted into the new body, and he would be young again. The old man thought this was great news and agreed instantly, but things weren't so simple. The old man laid down on the bed to get ready for the procedure. A few hours later, he asked, when will it begin? Then a young man walked into the room and said to the scientist, my procedure went so well, but what are you going to do with my old body? The scientist replied to him, it will be disposed of in the incineration facility. The old man was so impressed. He said, wow, the person before me seemed to have amazing results. I can't wait for my turn. What really happened here, and what was the scientist hiding? Can you solve this mystery? This is why you should always lock your bathroom door. It was the first night Marnie and her family moved into their new house. Before going to bed, she wanted to take a relaxing bath, but she could have never expected the terrifying things this would lead to. The rest of her family was in the living room watching TV, and a few moments later, Marnie ran out of the bathroom screaming. Turns out when Marnie was sitting in the bathtub, she heard what sounded like heavy breathing. Assuming it must be the wind, she tried to ignore it, but then she noticed something strange about her hair. Her hair was much longer than usual, and it was much darker than her hair used to be too. Marnie jumped out of the bathtub, but as she got up, the back of her head seemed to hit someone else's nose. Since then, she's been too terrified to be in the bathroom alone, convinced that someone else was in the bathtub with her that night. This is why you should always lock your bathroom door. It was the first night Marnie. They found only the old man's fingerprints on both items. Then they decided to play the recording. Side note, I have a secret announcement coming on February 22nd. Follow my Instagram to see it, link in bio. The recording said, my name is Samuel Richardson. I'm lonely and unhappy, so I decided to leave this cruel world. May God have mercy on my soul. Then, a second later, they heard the sound of the gunshot. As soon as the tape ended, the police arrested the butler for the murder of the old man. Why did they arrest the butler? Can you solve this mystery? They found only the old man's fingerprints on. Can you solve this mystery? This is the story of a man who was found dead in his home under mysterious circumstances, but all the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. Once there was a rich old man who lived alone in his mansion. One night, the police received a call saying that he had killed himself. When they arrived, the old man's butler opened the door. He said he was cleaning the kitchen when he heard a shot. Then he ran upstairs and found the man dead. The police went to examine the body. They found the man slumped over his desk, a gun next to his right hand, and a tape recorder in his left hand. They found only the old man's fingerprints on both items. Can you solve this mystery?
This is why you should always keep your phone charged. A girl named Marissa came home from school at around 3 p.m. She walked in the door and told her mom that some random number kept calling her all day. Her mom told her the person may have the wrong number and just to ignore it. Marissa said okay and begins to do her homework. A couple hours later, she receives a phone call from the same number. Marissa answers it this time and says, "Hello?" The man then says, "We finally found you. Don't worry, Bunny." Marissa begins to panic and tells her mom what just happened. Her mom's face goes blank and says, "What did the man just call you?" Marissa says, "He called me Bunny." Her mom yells and says, "Grab your stuff. We need to leave." Marissa, confused, packs her things and gets into the red car. Her mom begins driving fast and turns on the radio. The radio says, "The baby named Marissa who was kidnapped in the hospital 10 years ago has been found and police are searching for a red car." Marissa looks at the woman and says, "Who are you?" The woman looks back and says, "You can..." This is why you should always keep your phone charged. A girl named Marissa came home from...
Okay, well, I'm glad that, I was not adopted. Well, just because my mom doesn't even have, I guess you could say that she kind of has brown eyes, but I don't know. I think she has black, but we all know that black is a dark-ass shade of dark brown eyes, so yeah. But I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
She couldn't believe what she saw. The driver's face was withered and pale, his skin clinging tightly to his bones. Claudia began to panic. She tried to open the door and jump out, but nothing worked. She even banged on the windows to try to get passers-by's attention, but nobody heard her. Then, in a fit of desperation, Claudia began to scratch at the driver to make him stop driving. His withered face came off into her hand, revealing a gleaming white skull beneath. Claudia and that taxi was never seen again. What would you do if this happened to you? Once a young woman named Claudia was about to walk home when it started raining heavily. Not wanting to be rained on, she decided she should get a taxi instead. As she walked down the empty streets past the cemetery, a taxi approached her. She got in and quickly realized something was wrong. She began feeling unusually cold and noticed the windows were covered in ice. Then things got even weirder. Claudia realized that they were going the wrong way. She blurted out to the driver, "We're going the wrong way," but got no response. She raised her hand to tap him on the shoulder and the driver looked back. Claudia let out a scream. She couldn't believe what she saw. What would you do? Can you solve this mystery? This is a story about two young girls, Mandy and Melissa, who were identical twins. But one day they were kidnapped by an unknown man. No one knew who the kidnapper was, but something isn't adding up here. All the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. So Mandy and Melissa were born to a very rich family. They lived in a large mansion with their father and older brother. Everyone was jealous of these girls because their father loved them so much and gave them everything that they wanted and all of his attention. But one tragic night, the girls were taken. When they woke up, they were blindfolded and tied to chairs so they couldn't see a thing. They were terrified. Suddenly, Mandy heard a high-pitched voice whispering in her ear. It was the kidnappers. He said, "I've contacted your parents and I'm demanding $1 million ransom. If you try to escape, I will kill Melissa." Then Melissa heard the same voice whisper in her ear. He said, "I contacted your parents and I'm demanding $1 million ransom. If you try to escape, I will kill Mandy." So who kidnapped the twin girls and why did they do it? Can you solve this mystery? Can you solve this mystery? This is a story about two young girls, Mandy and Melissa, who were identical twins. But one day they were kidnapped by an unknown man. No one knew who the kidnapper was, but something isn't adding up here. All the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. So Mandy and Melissa were born to a very rich family. They lived in a large mansion with their father and older brother. Everyone was jealous of these girls because their father loved them so much and gave them everything that they wanted and all of his attention. But one tragic night, the girls were taken. When they woke up, they were blindfolded and tied to chairs so they couldn't see a thing. They were terrified. Suddenly, Mandy heard a high-pitched voice whispering in her ear. It was the kidnappers. He said, "I've contacted your parents and I'm demanding $1 million ransom. If you try to escape, I will kill Melissa." Then Melissa heard the same voice whisper in her ear. He said, "I contacted your parents and I'm demanding $1 million ransom. If you try to escape, I will kill Mandy." So who kidnapped the twin girls and why did they do it? Can you solve this mystery? Can you solve this mystery? This is a story. She had so many questions. Can you solve this mystery? She had so many.
Why did you upload the video twice? Hello?
Can you solve this mystery? Do you style your hair the same way every day? Well, there's an urban legend about a woman who always wore her hair in a bun, but for her, this habit would lead to something terrifying. This woman loved wearing her hair in a bun, but she might have taken it a bit too far. She didn't want to style her hair differently or even take out her bun to clean her hair. Whenever she took a shower, she would just wear a shower cap to make sure the water didn't mess up her bun. At night, she would sleep with a towel around her hair so the bun didn't move. After a while, she had to put hairspray in it to mask the smell. Then her scalp started feeling itchy, so she would put more hairspray in it. Even when the itching got intense, she just applied more hairspray. But her husband finally found out about how bad the situation had gotten when he woke up one day and his wife was still asleep. He tried to wake her up, but she wouldn't move. She had died in the middle of the night. The husband called the police, fearing that something unusual might have happened. But when her body was examined, they finally took out her bun. Inside her hair, they found something terrifying. They found a huge spider had gotten into her hair, made a nest, and laid eggs. When the baby spiders hatched, they bit through her skull and ate her brain. Do you style your hair the same way?
Is that possible? If that is possible, I'm seriously gonna cry. I really don't like that. Please don't. I don't want to die in my sleep. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. So now I'm gonna come cry to my grandpa at night, being like, I had a bad dream. But come on, yo, that's so creepy. Please don't do this.
It was the same woman lying on the floor with a knife in her chest. The girl shut off the computer and called the police. After the call, she opened the computer again, but the photo had changed. It was now a photo of a girl in a library, taken from the back. It was a photo of her looking at the...
I'm back, guys.
It looked like it was the same woman lying on the floor with a knife in her chest. The girl shut off the computer and called the... It looked like it was taken from a distance. If you're ever studying late at night, don't do what she did. Hides his face with a white mask. If he chooses you, he will ask you if you want to wear a red vest or a blue vest. If you say red, he will chop your head off. If you say blue, he will grab you by the neck until your face turns blue and you suffocate. If you try to ask for a third color, the floor will open up and a pair of pale hands will reach up and drag you to hell. Hides his face with a white mask. If he chooses you, he will ask you if you want to wear a red vest or a blue vest. If you say red, he will chop your head off. If you say blue, he will grab...
I would rather pick red. I'm sorry, but... You know what? No, I would rather get dragged to hell.
Suddenly, a loud scream, then a thump. The second officer opened the door to check on his partner, then found her head rolling on the ground and blood all the way down her back, making it look like she was wearing a red vest. In Japanese urban legend, the Akamanto is a ghost who haunts bathrooms, specifically female bathrooms. He wears a red cape and hides his face.
So what is a female? Hold on.
According to Wikipedia, a woman is an adult female human. Prior to adulthood, a female human is referred to as a girl.
Okay, hopefully, the girls' bathroom does not get, haunted in Walmart, but I think that it already did, because, I always hear noises. No.
Sounds like one of these.
How can you guess that? I'm better at singing it than you.
Oh, okay. Here goes. I'm singing a song. I'm your assistant and I'm singing la 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 la.
I hate your voice, Google. I hope you're happy, but not the way you are with me.
The ghost who haunts bathrooms, specifically female bathrooms. He wears a red cape and hides his face with a white mask. Has anyone ever tried to talk to you in a public bathroom? Once a young girl went into a public bathroom and heard from the stall next to hers, "Shall we put on the red vest?" She got scared, ran off, and called the police. 2 officers arrived. One went in and heard the same voice asking, "Shall we put on the red vest?" The officer outside heard her reply.
That's so creepy.
Okay, put it on. Suddenly, a loud scream. Has anyone ever... It seems like everyone in town have forgotten about the tragedy of his family until a series of home... How far would you go to make a wish?
The teacher grew angry, reached over, grabbed the hat, and yanked it off of Grace's head. The room fell silent. Then screams, vomit, terror, and chaos. The back of Grace's head was blown open. Bits of skull caved into her head. A small matching hole sat on her forehead near her hairline. This is why you should never spread rumors. Once there was a girl called Grace who always wore a hat to school. Even in the summer, she always had a knitted black beanie pulled down to her eyes. Soon, the rumors started around school. Some people said she must have bald patches or have another medical condition that the students didn't know about. Either way, she was constantly bullied for always wearing that hat. One day, Grace's class had a new teacher whose eyes immediately fell on Grace. She said, "No hats in class." Grace's eyes widened and she went pale. "Well, what are you waiting for? Take it off." Grace replied, "I can't." This is why you should never spread rumors. Once there was a girl called Grace who always wore a hat.
I don't understand. Is pale super white? Or is pale... Okay. My phone just fell. My mom's phone just fell. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, so I don't get it. It's like pale, like super white, or like when you're black. Like, I don't get it. Hold on.
Good evening, Isabella. How can I help?
Mind. I'm too shy. Good evening, Isabella. It's not evening. Is it evening right now?
Good evening. How can I help? According to superpeel.com, for gently placing pizzas and breads on your baking stone, and according to Medline Plus, paleness is related to blood flow in the skin rather than deposit of melanin in the skin. Paleness can be caused by anemia, blood loss, poor nutrition, or underlying disease, problems with the circulatory system.
Well, am I pale or is pale super white or you know what? I don't even care at this point.
This is why you should never spread rumors.
This dark figure turned out to be a man, but he was soaked. So the sisters assumed that he was also in the rain and needed shelter. But when they got up and tried to talk to him, this man vanished into thin air. Unable to believe their eyes, the sisters ran towards the fireplace to see what happened. And that's when they saw pieces of seaweed and a pool of water where the man was standing. What's more horrifying is the next day when they found out what this all meant. They went into the nearest town and began asking about the old abandoned house. And that's when they found out the truth. An old couple used to live there, but moved away when their son drowned at sea. Police showed up to investigate the scene. And when they tested the seaweed found near where the man appeared, they found out that type of seaweed only grows on the dead. This dark figure turned out to be a man, but he was soaked. So the sisters assumed that he was also in the... After this, they will never look at seaweed the same way again. Once two sisters...
Okay. So I need to turn my light off for this and I'm so so scared. Please do not haunt me. Please don't let someone be out my window ready to kill me. Oh, I'm so freaked out. Okay, I'm gonna get my phone ready to call the police if someone is ready to kill me outside. So please wish me good luck. Please wish me good luck. I don't die. Okay, we're good. No one's outside.
After this, they will never look at seaweed the same way again. Once two sisters were driving home when their car broke down. Even worse, it began raining heavily, so they were lost in the middle of the street with no way of getting home. That's when they saw an old house nearby. But they could have never guessed the terrifying things they would witness if they went into the house. With no other choice, these two sisters knocked on the door, but there was no answer. Then they found out the door was unlocked, so they went inside. This would turn out to be a horrible mistake. When they got in, the sisters thought it looked like no one had come into this house for years, so it's probably okay to stay there. But in the middle of the night, they heard a loud noise. Then they saw a dark figure standing by the fireplace. This dark figure turned out. After this, they will never mental hospital. The remaining 6 climbers made a full recovery. Can you solve this after gone?
Okay, guys. So okay. This is the end of the video. Okay. Bye, guys.